Notre Dame, Stanford this weekend. David Shaw is going to be joining me in about 5 minutes. Coach of Stanford, smart dude. Also a Clemson player transferred. Nobody knows what to do. I don't think it's a big deal. Guys want to go, let them go. Greg Cosell, Michael Strahan, Rod Woodson today. Joy Taylor is joining me. So Hollywood does this from time to time. They try to make somebody a star that's not really a star. They're more of a 2 than a 1. I always said Al Gore was a great 2, never be president. Some people are great 2s. They're not 1s. Hollywood did this with Jude Law. They pay him like a star. If you go look at the movies he's been in, he sounds like a star, but you can't make him Sherlock Holmes. He's Watson. The talented Mr. Ripley, he wasn't Mr. Ripley. Matt Damon was. When you make him a star in a movie, nobody watches. Jude Law can be paid like one. You can try to convince me he's one. He's not one. Kirk Cousins tonight is not a star. His contract tells you he's a star. He gets paid like a star. He may win a bunch of games, and you'll think he's a star, but he's 6'3", 208 pounds. He doesn't have a great arm. He's not a world-class athlete, and he's not very big. His own executive, Bruce Allen, didn't know his name when talking about his contract negotiations in D.C. earlier in his career. Remember this?
After discussions with Kurt this weekend, face-to-face, Kurt is obviously an important part of our organization. Our goal was to sign Kurt to a long-term contract. We made Kurt an offer that included the highest fully guaranteed amount upon signing.
It's so painful.
His name is not Kurt. It's Kirk. But again, people get fooled. Tonight, Jared Goff is a number 1 pick in the draft. Cam Newton was a number 1 pick in the draft. Andrew Luck was a number 1 pick in the draft. When you watch Patrick Mahomes or Carson Wentz, it may only be once, sometimes twice in a game, that you go, whoa. I see it about once a week from Cam. Whoa! Jared Goff had a throw last week to Robert Woods, and it was the best throw of any quarterback in the entire National Football League. No quarterback on the planet last week made a better throw than the one I'm showing the FS1 viewers right now. That is a number 1 quarterback throw. Kirk Cousins doesn't make that throw. So tonight, you're going to have, and by the way, Goff may only have one play tonight, one throw. I don't care about stats. I don't care about, Kirk Cousins is Jude Law. He gets paid like a star. He's in movies like a star. But every time you want him to be a star, Kirk Cousins is 4-19 in his NFL career. And by the way, he's been on some pretty good teams. 4-19 against teams that are 500 or better. Because you know what teams that are 500 or better have? Star quarterbacks. He's 4-19. So tonight, give me that star moment in Jude Law's career. The scene in which you're like, woo! They doesn't have one. Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, second best movie ever made. Had a couple of moments where I'm like, wow. You literally can't take your eyes off him. Hanging from a cliff. Can't take your eyes off him. A Few Good Men. Can't take your eyes off. By the way, stars aren't stars all the time. Jack Nicholson's been in 150 movies. He's probably got 160 scenes where you're like, oh, my God, he is unbelievable. Isn't that every scene's not like that? Tom Cruise has like 12 scenes in his life. One of them in his underwear. Remember that one, singing in his underwear? Where you're like, oh, he's a star. Jude Law doesn't have any of them. Kirk Cousins doesn't have any of them. Jared Goff had one last week. It was the best throw on the planet by any quarterback. And you're like, that's why he's the number 1 pick. Remember, even stars aren't stars every play. But they can take you to places that non-stars can't. For the record, Tom Cruise does his own stunts. Dude's a star. Mission Impossible, second best movie ever made after The Godfather. I'm not kidding you. Half of my staff still hasn't seen it. Wait until you see the cliff scene.
Are they paying you to promote that?
No, they're not paying me anything.
Goulet, I'm honestly starting to believe that that's what's happening here.
No.
The second best movie ever, Colin.
You know what? Let me reconsider. By tomorrow, it could be the best movie I've ever seen.
Are you trying to get a role in Mission Impossible 7?
He is so good at it. It is so good. Cruise is so good. But there's about 2 scenes in the movie where you're like, oh, Tom's special. I know he can be cuckoo. I know some of you don't like his religion. I know the Oprah jumping on the couch thing. About 2 times in that movie, you're like, Jude Law can do that. Joy Taylor with the news.
No. Turn on the news. Headline News.
You're right, though. Jude Law would be